Ladies and gentlemen, the Popeyes chicken sandwich is back.
Woo!
But it doesn't even matter because we don't have one in EC, so we'll never be able to try it. All we can do is look up a video on how to make the Popeyes chicken sandwich at home and try to do it that way.
Is that hard?
But episode number 2 of the Average Men's Podcast is about to come your way. It's going to be a fun show. I think what we got on the docket right now is we're going to be breaking down the new Joker movie. So we had 2 of the boys. We had Jackson and Gage. They went out and watched the movie. And boys, let's hear your thoughts on it first off.
Just a little disclaimer before we get started. Me and Gage are definitely not at our prime health right now.
No, my voice is a little hoarse.
Yeah.
Came down with a little bug, but we're gonna power through it. We can't leave the people in the dust, so I'm here to talk.
Yeah.
Might not sound very good, but I'm here to talk.
I think that what that is you get the first week of school and then after that everybody gets kind of that sickness and then it goes away and then it comes back like 2 months later.
Yeah,
and
right.
it's kind of hitting.
Right when the weather gets cold.
Yep.
I was sick right the first week of school. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Alright, before we get too off topic, we did want to touch up on our most embarrassing school stories.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I know
Okay.
this has got to be, it's got to be a tough one because everyone's got a million that aren't even that bad, but to you at the time they're the worst.
Yeah.
So who wants to start? The most embarrassing school story. I think everyone's got one.
Well, not the most, but one of them.
Okay, yeah. So one of the
I don't know
most
if I
because
don't know if I can say the most.
sometimes it's hard to pinpoint one. So
Who wants to start? I could start.
Yeah, you
Go
seem
for
pretty
it, go for it.
enthusiastic.
Okay, so it was 3rd grade to set it up.
Yeah.
We were in Miss Redmond's class. So
Yeah.
it was Jackson, Carson, and I were in the class. And it was me and Spencer Rowan. I think he'll be fine if I share this story. But we were 3rd graders, and if you guys don't remember, Miss Redmond loved to give out Jolly Ranchers.
Oh yeah.
And she had the big Jolly Rancher candy thing sitting on her desk every day. And so then, I don't even remember how it happened or what conspired us to do it, but it was before recess one day, and we were just like, hey man, like, let's go in and just grab a Jolly Rancher because our room was open.
I think I remember this.
Yeah, and it was bad, so we went in and got a Jolly Rancher, we came back out, we were fine. Then we kept doing it, we did it for like 2 more days, and then we went in one day and like some other kids were in there. I don't know why they were in there. I like to say they were doing the same thing, but they ended up telling on us. We got in big trouble, got the huge major infraction for stealing. And then I think what even happened was I tried to blame it all on Spencer, and so I got another one for lying. But yeah, that was a bad one because what they make you do is you walk it down, right? And so you walk the infraction down to the principal's office. And as I was walking that infraction down, I passed like one of my mom's friends, Miss Willems, who ended up being my 5th grade teacher. She's like, hey man, what's up? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just walking down to the office. And she's like, oh, what for? And I'm like, nothing. And just kept walking because I did not want to tell anybody. But no, that it seems so little now, but at the time it was a big deal. And I was embarrassed and I was sad and I felt bad for Miss Redmond and her Jolly Ranchers. And Spencer and I got in big trouble, but in hindsight, just a little Jolly Rancher won't hurt anybody.
That's a big deal. Like when you're a little kid, you've never gotten in trouble.
Yeah,
I'm sure you were
yeah.
a good kid that wasn't getting those every day. So
Yeah, that was my first and only major infraction at Robbins, and I think it was my second infraction ever. So yeah, it was bad. It was embarrassing for sure.
I'll do a minor step up because mine's not too much worse. But
Okay.
I distinctly remember it was 8th grade. Mistress Michelle's English, great teacher.
Yeah,
Love that
great
teacher. Awesome teacher. But we had this Greek mythology project, and it was a trifold, and it was you were able to pick it. You picked it, and you had to do a speech on it. You brought it up to the front. You had notes. You had to read it, and I already hated public speaking, classroom speaking, just to begin with. Ever since I was little, I've always had horrible fears. This is already another one, but I remember IC Catholic school, elementary school.
Yeah.
We have like this. All the students had like to sing. I remember I got so nervous before the Christmas sing. I threw up everywhere in that back room, and I didn't sing. I wasn't on stage. I was just in there looking at my pile of puke, watching the janitor was picking it up. It was almost that was my second one.
All right, let's
That
go
was a
first one
decent setup. So I'm I was terrified of speaking in front of people. Now I'm not too bad, but
All right, 8th grade.
getting into it,
8th grade.
go up there, it was going perfect. I was like, oh my god, this is like the biggest relief, and it was one of those things that was just choking me, just utterly choking me. So all gets done. Had about a minute left in my speech. Everything was going great. The most crippling thing a developing teenager can do. The worst voice crack. The worst voice crack I've ever had in my life. At the time, had a crush in that room. Just brutal. I remember having that voice crack and I just stopped. I was like, and I just tried to roll back through it, and then I was shaky the rest of it.
No.
I was shaky, I was nervous, knees were weak, arms were getting a little heavy. That was like the lowest. I remember getting off, shaking Mr. Spichel's hand.
He's already getting nervous thinking about it.
Oh god, it just crippled me. He said I did great. I didn't believe him.
You get it.
Yeah, what the
I
grade
got
end up being?
I got an A. I got an A.
Good.
There you
So
go.
I did go good, but
He
to
knows
me,
that's not like a...
to me though, that voice crack. I remember just ended my career. I remember just thinking no one, of course no one said anything about it. You just think it's going to be the big news in the school. God, you just, but no one cares. No one remembers. No one cares.
Yeah. You want to go, or me, or...
I guess I can, yeah. When Gage suggested this topic, the first one I could think of, and probably the best one that I can talk about at least, was in first grade. We used to have this thing in all through elementary school where you would like every 3 days you would switch out between art, gym, and music, and you were in these singular groups, and you had different teachers, and there was a short period of time between each class when they would have to trade off teachers. You go from your regular teacher to the art teacher, or to the gym teacher, or the music one. But one day in art, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was sick or if I just didn't feel like going to the bathroom, but I took a dump in my pants, as you do.
Nice.
I was probably so into the art, I just kind of... And this was...
It happens.
First grade.
This was like first 10 minutes of the class, and the class was maybe 45 minutes. So I take a dump in my pants. I sit there for about 5 minutes. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, and I hang out in there until our class is done, because what else am I supposed to do? So I just hang out in the bathroom, and then our regular teacher goes, picks up the class, they do a head count, I'm not there. The whole class, she's like, he went to the bathroom. The whole class walks over to the bathroom. Our teacher walks inside. She was a female teacher, by the way. She walks inside. She's like, what happened? I was like, I took a dump in my pants. So then she walks out, goes to the front office. She finds like some super big like windbreakers in the lost and found, brings it back. I change into those, and I wear that for the rest of the day.
Nice. At least you went out with style.
Uh-huh.
It goes really pretty.
Exactly. Yeah.
every step.
Yeah. At least I was looking slick for the rest of the
Yeah,
day.
so true.
That was probably the most embarrassing.
That was a lot worse than
You know what? First grade, whatever.
Yeah.
It's long
Stuff
gone.
happens,
It's long gone at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Cars.
I don't know, my story's not that
Big
good,
cars.
but-
Let's go.
Let me think of one. Okay, so Mr. Belangi, if y'all know, the OG, the man, the myth, the Belangi. I had him for 2 years, 7th grade and 8th grade, and he.
Gym teacher, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, gym teacher. He was a really good wrestler, I think, back in the day. But anyways, we had this lunch table that we'd always. Yeah, Gage knows.
I'm almost positive I know what you're about to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna talk about the lunch table specifically, but
Well, yeah, but
we all got sent to this lunch attention, and he would, whenever you do something stupid, like we'd put over trays and fill it. We'd just do stupid stuff.
God, we did the dumbest
What we do, like put a bunch of like anything for lunch. We always just pour milk on it and then chop it up, and it was just bad.
like all of our leftover foods, if we had a bite of our Uncrustable, we'd like jam it in a milk carton and then mush it up and then pour ranch in it. Just the dumbest, the grossest,
middle school stuff.
just the dumbest things you can think of. Just making a mess being
So
gross.
it was me, Phil, Caleb, Brock, and Gage. Might have been a few other people, but we're kind of some rascals in middle school.
Yeah.
We all got sent to the lunch detention table
We did.
And that's supposed to be a punishment, but since all of our friends were there, it turned out to be like not a punishment. So I don't think Mr. Belangi and Mr. Nicola, the other gym teacher, like that. They were kind of like the controllers of the lunchroom. They got the microphone.
The head honchos.
The head honchos, yeah. They
Carson Wendeshausen to the front.
You probably heard that quite a bit.
And then we had the fake, sorry to break your story, but
no,
we
you're
had
fine.
the fake
stoplight?
Yeah. So it would just go from red to green to like yellow.
Depending on how loud the lunchroom was.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they decided that. Or
no, it always went over.
Yeah, anyways, all of our buddies were at the lunch attention table, and it was kind of funny. I don't know. We were just messing around. We still did the same exact things. They didn't do anything. They never sent us down to the office. Well, maybe a little bit, but so all through 7th grade and 8th grade, I was kind of pushing Mr. Belangi's limits. In the archery unit, I would always shoot over the hill, like just let it go, and we'd definitely just lose the arrow. And in Fitness Wednesday, this one time it was Alder and I live pretty close to school. I lived pretty close to South Middle School, and we were going to leave that day just because we had 7th hour, and we're like, there's no point. We don't even need our backpacks. It's in our locker because we don't have any homework, middle school.
Yep.
No homework. Missed that.
I missed
Not
that.
anymore. And we just decided to leave and sneak out, but because we were at the track. We had to run around the track for Fitness Wednesday, and we just decided to leave, and Mr. Belangi and Mr. Nicola caught us, and they weren't too happy about that. I can't remember what ended up happening, but I think we got like a BTF or whatever.
That was embarrassing, though.
Yeah, dude. I don't know.
So what ended up happening? You were running the track, and then you just took a dead sprint for like the woods and tried to get in the woods.
Yeah, we're trying to be sneaky about it, like hitting some trees, and we had to run away from Mr. Belangi and Mr. Nicola.
Because they stand at like the other side of the track where the woods are, right? So if you can like get to the
mine was on the more south side, so
Okay.
you had to run past them, kind of go behind them. But
Whoa.
yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. They had to
Dang,
tell us,
man.
and we got sent down to the office, and we were walking over there, and everyone was watching us.
Yeah. I just thought of one real quick, and I'll share it. 5th grade, we were outside. We were playing soccer in the ice. So where it would like it would be super snowy. It would be super snowy, and then it would like either like rain or after a while when we're playing on it, it would be super icy. And what ended up happening was we were playing snow soccer. I went and I like dove for the ball or something, and I ended up hitting my head on the ice, and got a bloody nose. I went in, was fine. Ended up going to art the next hour, another art story. Wasn't feeling too good. Teacher came and took roll and made everybody stand up, and I didn't want to stand up. I had a bad stomach ache, kind of a little bit of a headache too. Didn't really know what was going on, but I stood up anyways because she asked me to stand up. I was feeling queasy, walked into art. As soon as I walked into art, I had to lean over to one of the sinks in an art class, and I just threw up, man. I threw up all in the sink. It was bad. I had a concussion. Actually, this might have been in 4th grade. I don't know if it was in 5th grade. I don't remember. But it's not important. I don't know. But I ended up throwing up all over the sink. Super embarrassing. I had to like go home. I had a concussion. I had to go home. I walked up the stairs, threw up again. I ended up having like a minor concussion, but like the side effects of like the nausea were just worse enough to make me throw up. But that one ended up putting me out 2 or 3 days, but it's a cool story now to tell. So I'll take the 2 or 3 days of 4th grade that I missed in exchange for that story. But
there you go.
Yeah, it seems like it always happens in art, man. The stomach gets you. Maybe it's the paint smell in there, but like
using some lead paint.
Yeah. But let's hear what you guys got on the Joker.
Just another disclaimer. I personally have never been much of a DC fan. I know Carson has.
Oh yeah.
He'll arm wrestle me for it.
I will.
But I've always been a Marvel guy just because it's easier to watch. That being said, I have seen most of the DC movies, like the newer ones. I've never seen the Batman trilogy though. I think I watched the first one
with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is like 10 times better than the DC, whatever you want to call it, where they make dumb movies like Batman vs Superman and disappoints all the fans.
The Joker movie, that was a very dark movie. It was very interesting to watch, and like I said, I don't have much experience with other DC movies, but I know they're not like that usually. So I went in with very little expectations, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Because I know everyone won't like it for sure. Like it's a rated R movie, and I think that's rated very appropriately. I don't think they could have gone any lower with that for sure.
Yeah.
But it was an interesting way to use a character that everyone idolizes, like the Joker, because everyone knows who that is, and putting an even darker twist on it than it already has, to kind of turn it into this analysis of what our society looks like in a very dark tone.
Yeah.
And that's what most people won't understand is that concept of the movie from what you're trying to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Most people I don't think would understand the
because
political ideology that's...
I know I went there with my dad a couple weekends ago, and he was very disappointed because he was looking for that standard movie package where here's the beginning, here's the middle, here's the climax, and here's the end. It had those things, but it was a lot of audience participation because you had to kind of search for those things, and there was a lot of thinking in the movie because there were spans of 5 minutes at a time where there was no dialogue, and there were no important dialogue, and it was, you really had to keep your eyes open, and because it was the whole point of it was just to analyze. It wasn't to here's this fascinating heroic story, which most movies are.
And that's why I think the people that say they don't like it, they didn't pay attention to that, and like your dad wanted the movie like that's got a climax and a denouement and Gage, what are your thoughts on that? Since you also
So everyone, like Carson said, everyone knows a Joker, and I think from what I could tell, like I never watched movies ever. I never watched movies, so I just I always liked Batman and Joker. You're a kid, you like little superheroes like that. So I love the movie, but let me say the one thing I was disappointed. Well, not even disappointed. I can understand what people might be disappointed about, and it was that the Joker is this bad guy creating crime and havoc in like Gotham, this fake made up, basically New York City, and there just wasn't action. It was more of a story than it was an action movie. He's not planting a bomb in the tallest, most important government building. It's mainly just a story of his life, and it's just really cool to see how he became that villain that everyone knows and likes or dislikes. It's just a story. It's very slow. It's not fast paced. If you don't have patience and you don't like the Joker, don't see it.
Yeah. And I think that's why, as like an outsider looking in, or maybe like from the perspective of Jackson's dad, where you can go to a movie and you can see the climax and you can see everything work out and have this happy ending, and it's easy to watch, and you don't really have to put much effort into thinking of what's going on in the movie and thinking of how this character is kind of progressing over time to become that ultimate villain. Or like in the Joker that just came out, like it's hard for some people who might not want to be so engaged to the topic, where it takes super long for that to kind of develop. And for somebody, you see the Joker and you think it might be this super action packed going around fighting the Batman, but it's kind of like this backstory of like how he kind of became the psychopath that he is. Right?
And there's a very unique. I saw it with my brother for his birthday and some family members, so it was really fun. But there was even you see how the Batman develops without getting into spoilers, but you watch why Batman becomes Batman, and they don't even touch upon it. You watch it happen.
Yeah,
and you'll either know or you won't. My brother was like, "Oh, that little kid was him." I'm like, "Yeah, that's why he was in the movie." So it's really interesting. So yeah, it's definitely. It's one that you might have to watch again to understand it all, but I mean, for me, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was wonderful.
Yeah. There's a lot of expectation too coming with the new Joker because Heath Ledger just blew it out of the park with the Batman trilogy. I don't know if I know you didn't see that, Jackson, but
I think I saw the first one on an airplane.
He wasn't in that one. He was in I think just The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
but he was really good in that one. So everyone loved him in that.
Yeah, and I heard he really bought into that character. He locked himself in like the room.
Yeah.
Just like was with his own thoughts, just to try to mentally prepare to be that, in turn, total freak. And so as the Joker progresses on, you know, in The Dark Knight, we see Heath Ledger, who comes out right away as this total psychopath. Is the Joker? Who's the main character? Who's the main character in the Joker? Is it?
Arthur Fleck is the name of the Joker, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so is he?
Joaquin Phoenix is the actor.
He's the actor.
Yeah.
And does he come out right away being this like total weirdo type of guy?
Weirdo.
Or is he kind of like just in his own kind of thoughts?
Weirdo for sure,
Okay.
but not the Joker. But
Okay.
the
Like,
the
you can
kind
tell
of-
that he's odd, but he's not like
yeah. I mean, the cool thing about the movie and the kind of interesting thing is there's no turning point. There's no, like, within this minute, you can tell he's changed from one guy to the Joker. I mean, there are definitely highlights, but you see it very slowly transition over the entire, I don't know, hour and a half of the movie. I'm not sure how long it is. But I would definitely suggest it if you were thinking about going to it. If you had no plans to see it, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting how it goes into a story, because in Batman: The Dark Knight, the first scene is him robbing that bank, and you just think he's just some criminal guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't understand his background, where he's coming from.
Yeah, it's definitely a very dark story too. You see basically, they don't have like flashbacks of his childhood, but throughout it they touch up on his childhood and show his. I think I saw the term once. It's like, is it like pseudo hysterical laughing syndrome?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? I'm not sure. There's a medical term for it, but it's basically just how he laughs uncontrollably, even when he's not meaning to laugh, doesn't want to laugh, he just does. Can't control it. It's crazy. He played the role perfect. I thought it's cool. It's cool.
Is that like a real syndrome?
It is, yeah. There's videos on YouTube of people that have it. It's
so sad.
It is sad because you can tell that they don't want to, like.
Yeah, well, when you're at a funeral and then you just start laughing.
Yeah, that's how it is, and a lot of the people they stop laughing because like they literally like run out of air. Like imagine like belly laughing, but like you don't want to control it.
Yeah, that's bad, man. Another thing that I wanted to bring up, and I actually had talked to my parents about going and seeing it, but something they said is like, I don't want you to think like the Joker. Like, I don't want you to think like, okay, you're gonna go to the movie theater and you're gonna come out like thinking that you can just like be this total psychomaniac. But it sounds like, yeah, my mom actually said that. She's like, somebody's gonna actually be there that's actually like the Joker, and they're gonna like shoot up the movie theater. But from what it sounds like is like there's no violence. It's just kind of him and his own thoughts.
Oh,
like,
no, there's violence.
There is violence.
Yes.
There's violence.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad then. So like, do you think it's a movie where like it could invoke someone else to maybe become like a maniac like that, or maybe not?
I mean, the way the movie works is a lot of action movies, like let's say the new Spider-Man's, like Spider-Man Homecoming. As a person in the audience, you're very much kind of putting yourself in the place of that character.
Yeah,
kind of
riding
along with his emotions and his problems. But
yeah, you can't do that
in this movie, it's very sitting back and analyzing what's happening. Because from the beginning, you already can't relate to anything he's doing. You're already like, this guy is like off the rails. Like I don't have any similarities with him. Like if I saw him on the street, there would be absolutely no interaction.
Okay.
Like but for a person who's already in that spot, I could see how that could be potentially dangerous for them to watch. Which was kind of what the media was looking for, because they wanted to say, hey, this should not be allowed for anyone to make stuff like this. So they were kind of looking for something to pin the Joker movie at fault for. It was kind of a witch hunt thing. It was kind of a meme on Instagram. Yeah. That it was kind of a witch hunt for the Joker movie to be the cause of some violent event.
No, yeah, I don't think there's an issue with the movie. There's a random violent outbreak that you kind of expect because they focus the camera angles on certain objects in the room and stuff,
and that's how they.
But it's really no different than any movie where it's John Wick, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, who's gonna be a John Wick and start, you know? I mean, no, I don't personally think so. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's how they did
it's
most of the violence in the movie. It was very like sudden outbreaks.
Yeah,
And then it was
you almost didn't see it, but you there's like a part in your brain that's like, this might happen,
Yeah.
and it either does or it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's cool, but it was. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that there's anything that was bad on it. Like inspiring. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah. Inspiring is the right word.
Good word.
Do you guys have anything else to say about the movie, or is it pretty much wrapped up?
I think that's about it.
If you don't like the Joker, don't like slow movies, don't watch it.
Yeah.
If you like the Joker, slightly interested, or you just think it sounds good, you got to see it.
Yeah.
You might
Alright, what else we got today?
I was just gonna kind of transition into the fact that I kind of want to go and see the Joker, just because the bathroom scene that's super popular on TikTok has got me. I think I've kind of figured out what's kind of happened in that scene. That he does like some weird slow like hand dance or whatever. Because on TikTok, man, there are some funny ones, and it's like where like boys become men, and it's like them like acting out like super angrily, and then it's like them doing this weird Joker dance. So I don't know if there's like some second meaning behind that I would have to watch the movie for, but I think those on TikTok have been pretty funny.
So Grant, for those who don't know what TikTok is, because you're the only one who has
Yeah.
it here, do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, so I'll explain it. So basically TikTok is what used to be Musical.ly and kind of what used to be Vine, kind of all wrapped up in one. So once Vine died down, we still had Instagram, we still had Snapchat, and then there was another app called Musical.ly that wasn't as popular, but then it got bought out or renamed or something, and it's called TikTok now, and it's an app where you can either do like a 15-second video or a 60-second video or in between, and a lot of times it's a meme based. So there goes out one different TikTok that might be, for example, like the Joker one where a boy is like being all angry, and then he turns into a man and he like does this weird Joker dance, and then everybody has their own spin off of it and their own version of it. And so something that's really happened on TikTok is that people can really branch out, and you find like people who can be really funny with their different stuff, and people who might be more serious, like Gary V's on TikTok, and he's doing these 15-second inspirational videos, and then you got these comedians that do like these weird dances and stuff like that too. I've also got on and I do a thing where there's different filters, so a lot like Snapchat, and so my thing on TikTok is where I do a different TikTok filter, and so the one I just did, my day number 5, is because I've had 5 different days. It's like 4 different versions of me, so I can like stand up in a room and it looks like there's like 4 of me lined up in a triangle kind of, and so that's kind of what TikTok is. You get to do these different cool little videos. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, I definitely would check it out. And this summer, I kind of was like lenient on downloading it, and then I heard everybody was on it, and now I'm on it, and I can't really stop. So I definitely recommend it for you.
I've heard of this like TikTok trans where you just kind of scroll through everything for like hours.
Very true, and I actually made a TikTok where I had a public service announcement because what also happens, I can't believe I missed this. So it's called the For You page. And so it's kind of like making what used to be the Explore page on Instagram, where you get really famous, or you get a lot of replays on Vine when Vine used to be popular, and you can get famous that way. So you get on the For You page, and then you can get really popular. For example, shout out to Marco Ebling. A couple people started liking his TikTok, and then it goes out to more people until like a lot of people start liking your TikTok. So he got 350,000 likes on his TikTok, like 2 million views, and it's just like a simple TikTok that's like, okay, if vans land straight up and cats land on their feet, what happens when you put a van on a cat? And then it's like got this sound where it's like, FBI, open up the door. And then that's all it is. Like they're just short 15-second videos, but he's got 2 million views on it. So you get on your For You page, and you can just keep scrolling and scrolling. So what mine was like public service announcement to all people out there. If I've just wasted 40 minutes of my own time scrolling through the For You page on TikTok, go do your homework right now, because I was actually supposed to be doing my homework and studying for a test or something. But yeah, there's definitely a trend or a trans on TikTok where if you keep scrolling, man, you could get stuck in that 20 minutes minimum for sure.
Yeah, I've heard people that like get on it and tend to go on it for like 10 minutes and they're on it for like 3 hours and like, what time is it?
Yeah,
Then where'd the time go?
That's what YouTube kind of is too.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
lost.
You click on a video and you kind of get into something, then you look in the suggestions underneath.
Yep.
it.
And you just keep scrolling, man.
Yep.
Whoa, what?
Doesn't matter how long it is. You just want to watch the whole thing, especially if it's got a good title and a good little picture with it too, man. Oh,
Yeah, Travis Scott broke up with who?
yeah. Or what always happens is you get those guys that go out in the wilderness and they like dig those like cool little forts or whatever.
The guy in like India?
Yeah. Yeah, they go and they build like these huge like mud towers that are like 2 stories tall and it's like, what the heck?
And then they get like river water from
Yeah.
the stream and then
They dig like an underground pool. And
Yeah.
stuff. It's just crazy.
and then they put fish in there and traps and yeah, that's...
I think everybody's just seen those because that's what just suggests up at like 3 a.m. when you're
Yeah, and you're just like,
But you have to watch it. I'm like, how did you make
Yeah.
this? What?
And then you just keep going and keep going. That's why.
And then you realize that he's swimming in water that's probably not swimmable.
Yeah. Yeah, that definite social media and internet trends is definitely something that is gaining, our teenage brains as it is. It's become more common to have like 3 hours of screen time a day, and now, so it's kind of hard to find the balance of like, when do I get off, or will I miss something if the FOMO, fear of missing out, if I'm not constantly on that stuff. So.
Do you think Apple is trying to prevent that and make a solution when they made like that screen time app to show how
Definitely. I think, they kind of got the blame for it. Like, okay, Apple made these great devices, but people are spending way too much time on it, and so then they're like, okay, maybe we should make people cognizant of how much time they're actually spending on their devices, and let's send a message to them out on Sunday evening, letting them know how much screen time they either gained or lost. So
I'm not gonna lie, my usage was up 20% last week.
yeah, I know, I hate
all
it.
the Indiana Jones was on Netflix, and they're good, but like they're not that good to watch. So I just watch them in study hall, and it's just like it's pretty good.
Thank you guys for listening to episode number 2. It was fun to have you all with us. Definitely stay tuned for more. We'll have more stories, more topics to discuss in the near future. Boys, you want any last remarks before we send them off?
Yeah, just a little spoiler for what's ahead. We got some new merch coming out. It's about half the price as the old stuff. So
But twice the quality.
yeah, hell yeah,
Actually,
of course. So load up your bank accounts a little bit and get ready to buy. Is all
Ask
I'm
Mom and
saying.
Daddy
there are
for
going to
it.
be some promotional images of us wearing it while we're taking the podcast. Shots from the podcast where we're going to be wearing the merch. Hope you guys enjoy it. Yeah, like we said, we're going to have more coming out in the future. Great stories, hopefully great podcasts coming.
Yeah, this is only our second podcast.
Only the
so
second one.
And once again, suggestions.
Yeah, exactly.
You
If
got
there's
it.
anything we need to work on, maybe sound, maybe get a little foam in here, better acoustics.
You just gotta let us know. There's no
Topics,
hard
yeah.
feelings. There's no hurting our feelings. If you simple as I just don't like it, it's fine.
Ideas we love to hear from the viewers.
Yep.
Maybe even a little camcorder. Maybe you can record us doing the podcast if you guys like.
There you go.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Hope you guys enjoy that second episode, and that'll just about wrap it up.